Hello and welcome to an episode of In the Post podcast. I believe this is episode 8. It's been very late since our last episode. I do apologise. I'm Alan.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Sam.
We did do an episode, a previous episode 8, the lost episode. It was our NBA quiz and the footage was wrecked and it didn't go that well. So we left it, decided to do it again, and then the season was starting. We thought, alright, we do our season predictions, the thing that we started this podcast for. We were so buzzing for it. And then you went away for 6 weeks to do your prison officer course.
Yep.
And they put a downer on it. But it happens. It's
I'm
life.
back now.
You're back.
I'm back.
You're raring. You know who isn't back? Kobe. He's going. He's retiring. We'll talk about that a little later on. But first, we need to talk about the stuff that started, the season.
Seasons.
So, I think it's only right that this is our first season properly of In the Post, and so we should talk about other people's first seasons, the rookies.
Yeah.
Who do you want to talk about, Joe?
Well, the three names pop out to me: Towns, Porzingis, and Okafor. They're the three.
Not so much D'Angelo Russell, who's been a bit wet so far.
Yeah, I mean, whether that's because, Okafor, I'm still hearing his name, even at the losing Sixers. At the losing Lakers, nothing.
Well, Byron Scott's even come out criticising him, saying he doesn't mind taking him out because he's not performing that well either. Whereas Towns was in God.
Bazingard.
And Okafor they're still playing consistently well. And I bought a Towns jersey, didn't I, even before I saw him play, because I knew he'd be a stud.
Yeah.
And he's living up to expectation.
Well, the thing I really like about Towns, actually, and I think if Jalen Rosey pointed it out at first, I didn't even notice it. The points, quite impressive. You know, he's not known as a big scorer, but he's getting like 10 to 15 a game here and there, getting 10 plus rebounds, no problem. He's a high 80, 90% free throw shooter for a big.
For a big man.
And in this league, when you get like people like Drummond, DeAndre, Mahimi, who are getting hacked every game, that's really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Kobe said, I don't know when it was, a couple of seasons ago or something. He was saying how the European bigs are the better bigs in the league because of their free throw percentage. And like players like Mozgov, things like that, can score free throws.
Yeah, Nowitzki.
So these good free throw shooters, and then obviously he's going to get them free throws, getting the rebounds, getting straight back up again, going to get hit. So he's going to get them chances, and 80%, I mean, you can't be fouling 80%.
Yeah, it's very, very solid. I mean, he's never going to get hacked. He's not being shy, and I mean, he got a game-winning defensive block already, and that was in really early in the third game or something, didn't he? Something like that. Towns got a defensive block. It was fantastic. Speaking of Europeans, then Porzingis, the hype train is going. Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
And like, we have a quick rewind. And the New York Knicks select Porzingis.
You suck.
Yeah.
He doesn't suck.
He doesn't.
He doesn't suck, he's brilliant.
He's going for 14 and 14, 17, 14, getting 3 blocks. He's not being shy, backing down people.
He's consistent, also aggressiveness going towards the rim, like not even just driving towards the rim, but even going for putbacks.
Yeah.
He had, 6 or 7 consecutive games of just putbacks over decent bigs like LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, he's leading the league in putback dunks, I saw at one point. I don't know if it's that days now. I mean, we've been so short on good rookie classes recently. I mean, last year we had injuries. The year before it was a bit of a nothing draft. So now it's exciting.
Yeah.
Do you think this Porzingis thing is just good form? Or do you think he's
just a decent player, and he's only going to get better.
Yeah. I mean, you've already seen it. I mean, the start of the season, he started getting like 13 points, and then now he's getting like 20 again. I mean, he's already improved within...
Yeah, he is. And his efficiency. At the start, he was going for like 3 for 11 by getting a lot of free throws. Now he's getting more efficient as well. Yeah. And it's helping the Knicks big time because Aflalo had a good game last week, but he's not exactly like carrying them. So Melo's a bit quieter.
He's been inconsistent.
Yeah, he's been a bit quieter.
But it's good to see the Knicks have more of a direction instead of having the Route 1 option of just Carmelo. Now they've got Robin Lopez, they've got Aflalo, they've got Porzingis.
They've got a real NBA team. Like these are all established NBA players. And I mean, it makes the East more fun to watch.
Yeah, it's more competitive this season than what it has been in prior seasons, because I read a stat the other day when the Knicks were 10th, if it was a seed in that in the West, they'd be the 6th seed in the West. So you can see how much the East has improved. And the Eastern teams that didn't make the playoffs, so Pistons last year,
They
the
did really
Hornets, they're all doing really well. All doing really well except for one team. Good old Jaleel Okafor's team.
Jaleel Okafor's team, yeah, the Sixers. I really like the Sixers. I've got a soft spot for them. I'm a big Iverson fan. I like the sort of like the jerseys. It's just a cool team, and it's been sad to see them for the past few years. And I was quite looking forward to Noel and Okafor together.
I was looking forward to Embiid.
Wait 3 more years, you might get a couple of games.
Rookie of the Year in 2020.
Greg Oden 2.0.
He had a good game actually, Greg Oden.
That one time.
No, in the China League, I think he had like 20 points, 14 rebounds and 4 blocks the other night.
I didn't even know he was in the China League.
He's in China League, he's doing well.
Fair enough. So Okafor, he's looking good. He's doing that one-handed, you're not going to get it. Got my one hand going on. That was good.
Well, Okafor is basically saying, if we can't win on the court, so I'm going to win in the streets. Bang, knock out the Boston fan, drive 108 miles an hour, Okafor's got it going.
I feel like what happened with that situation, the whole, well, for people that don't know, I'm sure everyone knows, but a guy, they'll come out of a club, someone said the 76ers suck.
Which is a fact.
He was like, I hate the truth, bang, and they had a little fight. Okafor won, he got dragged away. A few days later, apparently now this guy's pressing charges. NBA's going to fine him. He's going to get a suspension. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, how many games would you suspend him? I think they should do something so he learns a lesson. I think they should be hard on him, going, look, you need to learn quick, early, and hit him hard.
Hit him hard.
Hit him hard.
Yeah.
Adam Silver just...
5-game suspension, probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean,
yeah.
that's what you would end up getting if you beat people up.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
But again, I don't think not having him for 5 games is going to make them win. So
yeah, it's actually helped them.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
it's,
5 game winning streak. And 7. Oh, I put money on that. I think.
Yeah. I think what happened was it was a guy that looked like Don King, and he was like, "Hey, I'll sue," and Okafor hits him, and because he's on a rookie deal, he was like, "For what?" AKA Rocky 5, just knocking him out.
No, yeah.
Of all the Rocky films you quote,
Hey.
like Rocky 5.
That is the best Rocky film.
I'm fairly positive Jaleel Okafor hit him and went, if he dies, he dies. So, yeah. No, he hit him.
No,
And the next thing to the ground, he goes, I got you, Balboa! I got you!
Okafor's girlfriend goes up to him, "You can't win!" "Well, I can't win on the court, that's what's made me angry anyway." "No, but you and the kid." Oh no, it's Paul George who's got the kid, sorry, I'm getting confused. Right, so 5-game ban, learn his lesson, slap on the wrist, don't do it again.
Yeah, because obviously with the NBA it's all about on-court performance and it's about your public image as well, like you're representing the brand.
They're very similar, like them and the WWE are very similar, like they need to toe the company line.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Any other rookies that, I mean, a lot of people talk about Stanley Johnson, he's helped the Detroit do a bit better, and Justice Winslow, but apart from that, I mean, they're the ones that stood out early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be Towns will probably be my early candidate for Rookie of the Year, but we'll touch on that
You
later.
don't think the Porzingis hype train will, and the fact that he's playing in a bigger market will help him get Rookie of the Year?
Well, it depends on how their performance translates to wins, because obviously Minnesota at the moment are 9th in the West, and New York, I believe, are 10th in the East. So I think if Towns carries them to a bit of a better record, is that? No, 11th.
Yeah. And
so if Towns carries on and maybe pushes Timberwolves into the playoffs,
9th, yeah.
then yeah, I think Towns will get the nod over Porzingis, and obviously
he's
got a better situation in Minnesota.
Yeah, if Timberwolves get into the playoffs, I think Towns should definitely get it, but I don't think they're getting in the playoffs. I think the Knicks might. And I think if Porzingis gets the Knicks into the playoffs and their stats are relatively similar, I think Porzingis has a chance. Although I think they're very similar. You know, I mean, you think Towns is a better player, he's getting more blocks and rebounds, but then Porzingis is getting a load of rebounds. He's a better scorer, and he's getting quite a few blocks as well.
Yeah.
I know it's really early, but do you have a prediction?
To me, Towns has got. If it was just a tall guy and gets rebounds, I think Timberwolves still are doing well, not as well as they are. I think if you take Porzingis out of that Knicks team, I don't think they're nowhere near where they should be, or where they would be. I think at the moment, Porzingis is Knicks' main man, and assuming Carmelo Anthony's playing average at best. I think he's the reason they are there.
It's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to it actually. I'm really following the rookies this year. I'm always like first thing in the morning, get up, have a look at everyone's box scores. So that's going to be a good thing. It's still early in the season. We've about 15 odd games in, around the kind of mark, 16 odd games in. The good and surprise, the good, the bad. What surprised you so far this season?
How bad the Pelicans are.
That's a good surprise.
They've only got 4 wins, but they started even worse than what they have now. 4 for 13 now. Davis.
Well, he's been injured quite a bit.
He's missed a couple of games, but he hasn't missed a particularly lot, and he hasn't been getting these box scores that I would have expected. I expected him to be going for a lot more than what he's getting at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Pelicans are the team that have slowly gone better and better for the last 3. Well, since they got Davis, the team that have slowly got better. So this season, you're probably thinking maybe 6 seed, maybe, and then they have just absolutely bombed. Don't know what is happening there.
Yeah, as always, injuries have been killing them, but they don't really have any offensive cohesion.
I mean, Davis is your main man. I mean, every team's got a main man, no matter who it is. But then you've got a bunch of other, not main men, but good players. I mean, you get the championship teams like Warriors. I mean, all of them are pretty much great players at the Warriors.
Even people like Barbosa's playing out of his skin. He shot like 6 for 7 and got 21 points.
No one at the Pelicans is stepping up to do.
Yeah.
To maybe take some of the weight off of Davis's shoulders. I mean, you get players like Tariq Evans, who was he number 1 or quite a high draft pick. He's been the same.
Number 3, I think he went for.
He was rookie of the year, I think that's what it was.
Mm.
But yeah, like, he's not really made progress. And then you get Eric Gordon, and he still somehow gets these high ratings on NBA 2K, and you're thinking you're just absolutely rubbish.
He's played better this year than other years, I think, actually, Eric Gordon. Drew Holiday, I would want a bit more from, but he was injured.
Yeah.
Another team that's been struggling, the Houston Rockets. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but, you know, whenever the Mavs lose, the Rockets fans love that as well. Harden has been... He's had a few high-scoring games, but again, he hasn't shot well again, and his 3-point shot is just not going in. They've added in Ty Lawson. That doesn't look like it's worked out.
No.
They sacked Kevin McHale. So, like, how would you fix it? What's going wrong with them? What's happening with the Rockets?
I don't know. I mean, again, they got the similar team to last year.
Pretty much exactly the same.
And again, with the Pelicans sort of thing, you think they're going to get better and better, and eventually they're going to be one of the best teams. And this year they fell off a bit. I don't know, they did have a long losing streak, so maybe it was just a streak. And maybe it's going to be a bit more what we see from last season from now on.
Well, they beat the Knicks last night, but that was in overtime,
yeah.
and they didn't look good then either. I'm not too sure this is over.
Well, I've never rated James Harden anyway, and I think he might be not found out, but he's going to have more of his what I expect from him seasons. So maybe that's...
He's had that proper breakout year now. So whenever let's say they go to Utah, the Jazz are going to be like, right, we stop James Harden, we'll try and let the other people beat us. Just like how people mark Golden State now. They double Curry, and they'll try and let Iguodala try and beat them. They'll try and let Draymond Green beat them. The thing with Golden State is they've all become knockdown shooters, and so they can't do anything about it anyway. But speaking of Golden State Warriors, who's going to lose first or win first? The Sixers get their first win, the Warriors get their first loss.
I think the
Sixers get their first win.
Yeah, I agree. I said that a few days ago on Twitter. I have a feeling the Raptors are going to beat the Warriors in 3 games' time. I think it's on the 20th they play, I'm not too sure.
December 12th, Golden State get their first loss.
Against the Boston Celtics?
Damn right.
If Marcus Smart's healthy, you never know.
Healthy.
He looks like a good shout, but I feel like the Raptors are going to beat the Warriors. I feel like maybe the Warriors just are a bit, tired. They've had a few long games.
I've not really been paying attention to the Raptors, really. Have they regressed or...?
They're alright. Damari Carroll's helped them a lot.
Yeah.
I think they look like it. I think Lowry's not trying to do everything again. DeRozan's a bit healthy, and they seem to be working a bit better. And the Sixers have the Lakers tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's going to be maybe the worst game of basketball of all time.
Kobe's going to go for 100.
In how many shots?
500.
50.
50. Well,
Misses them all, gets 100 free throws.
shall we talk about Kobe? Shall we talk about the Kobe situation? He announced his retirement yesterday, and then in 20 minutes is 2 for 15. Finishes his night 4 for 20.
That's not bad, 2 for 5 in the last couple of minutes.
5 for 20.
No, yeah, but
Yeah.
2 for 5.
Yeah. But
Always look on the bright side, Al. Come on.
do you think? I feel like a few players have done it. They've retired before the end of the season's happened, and I feel like the way he's doing it. I mean, if he isn't called Kobe Bryant, this guy would not be getting the minutes he's getting.
Yeah, but he plays for the Lakers. Have you seen how bad that team is?
Yeah, but they've got a lot of guards. They've got Russell. They've got Lou Williams. They've got Nick Young and all these sort of players. He's
I
a
still
shooting guard,
can't
so
take Kobe. I've never. You just can't.
he's shooting so bad.
I see the other day. It was like Steph Curry can miss about 200 3-pointers and he'd still have a better
Record
3-point percentage than Kobe's.
It just it just shows how decline he is, and it is sad. And I mean, he's got to finish the end of the season because he would have to give up 20 odd million, 30 odd million, or whatever it is. He won't do a Steve Nash like last year. But what do you think they should do? Should they try and literally think, oh well, we're going to have a losing year again. We're going to try and get Randall a bit better. We're going to try and get Russell a bit better. But shall we just try and get Kobe as much points as possible to help him finish out? I mean, he'll be on like 10% shooting, the amount of shots he would want. But
No, I think it's more Kobe's decision than the Lakers' decision. If he gets his minutes, which obviously he will, he's going to play his game. So if he wants to get the points, I'm sure he will get his points.
He'll keep on looking for it.
Yeah.
Well, I think what the Lakers need to do is they need to get wins because obviously with their pick at the moment, it's at Philadelphia's top 3 protected.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
And Lakers are gonna come bottom of the West.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're looking at it, Trailblazers are already 5 ahead of them, and they've probably had the biggest decline in their team.
Yeah.
Out of anyone else. Suns are gonna pick up a few wins. The Denver Nuggets, they're actually looking a bit better this year. The Sacramento Kings will do alright. Rondo's actually looking alright.
Rondo's got much better, and obviously Boogie's been out for quite a few games.
Yeah, and the Kings have already got 4 wins ahead of them. I think the Lakers are going to come bottom, and the East, as far as wins go, I think the Lakers will probably have the worst record in the league, apart from the 76ers. I think Brooklyn will get more wins than them as well.
Yeah, I mean they're.
So the Lakers are probably going to get a top 3 pick, so it's going to go to the 76ers.
Yeah.
What trade was that? How did that happen?
I'm not too sure. I read it on Reddit the other day that they've got their pick.
4. That's not good. That's not good at all. Same with Dallas. I mean, we're winning, but that means the pick's going to go to Boston, which really doesn't help us when it happens. I mean, as far as Kobe goes, is he going to be regarded as a top 5 player when he retires?
Yeah, of course he's.
Top 5?
Yeah.
I don't think he's a top 5.
No, he is.
I don't think he's even top 10.
No, he is. When you got someone like that, who's not quite on that. I mean, the argument was there about him or MJ, and obviously it's MJ all day, every day.
All day,
but
every day.
The fact that is an argument shows how good a player he is.
But
well, again,
a lot of people get compared to. There's silly comparisons in the NBA. These arguments.
I don't know. I mean, if you want to compare people, you've got to compare similar sizes and whatever. So I would never say he was the greatest player of all time because the greatest player of all time is Hakeem Olajuwon. But I'm joking. But like you do it by positions. I can't. You can't go up. He's the best, or unless you have an argument who you starting your franchise with, or whatever. Them sort of just different scenario arguments. I'll never go. He's the best player ever.
Yeah.
Because you just can't do it.
Do you think he's a top 10 player?
No. I said this to you ages ago.
Top 15?
I hate Kobe, but I respect him. I respect everything he's done for the game. I respect everything he's done for the Lakers, but he'll probably be regarded as one of the top 10 players of all time, but I don't see it personally.
I don't think he's in the top 10. He's a very, very good player, especially when he was in his prime. He was killing the league. I think he really helped the NBA because obviously Jordan retired. They had a little bit of Iverson, but then they needed that next face of the NBA, and Kobe took over that. I mean, when I was growing up, everyone knew Kobe and the Lakers, you know. Just like when I was really young, everyone knew the Chicago Bulls. That was like the first NBA team anyone knew in England.
Yeah.
It was like the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan. That's all you knew. And then Space Jam came out, so that's all you knew even more. So I mean, Kobe did a lot. He got his rings. He's a winner. He's a proven winner. He's a bit of a gunner for me. A bit too selfish. He never really bought into the team. There's times in seasons where he did become more of a team player, but then he does go back into default mode sometimes, and I think that hurts him for me. I think players like Shaq, I would have put ahead of him in top 10. Hakeem,
Best
Duncan,
Best player of all time.
MJ,
Oh.
all them sort of lot. I think I could name 10 that I would prefer quite easily ahead of him. But, you know,
I'll
everyone needs
probably
to
put him personally down as the third best shooting guard.
third best shooting guard. So you'd have ahead of him
MJ 1, I'll put Wade 2.
Allen Iverson ahead of Wade.
I'll put Dwayne Wade 2, Allen Iverson 4th.
I think Dwayne Wade has done it over a longer period than Iverson, but
And obviously...
I would put Iverson ahead of Wade.
No.
Nah, I'll put Iverson ahead of Wade. Wade couldn't have got that 76ers team into the finals. Iverson did.
He got the Miami Heat. I mean, Shaq's old. Gary Payton's got no legs, and they win the championship.
Wade get...
Beat a great Dallas team, and you beat him. You lost.
Did Wade get regular season MVP?
No.
There we
He
go.
got finals MVP, didn't he?
Allen Iverson did.
Did he get finals MVP?
Did
He didn't win the finals.
No, did he get a little...
Jerry West didn't win the finals, but he got finals MVP.
Yeah, no.
I mean, the 76ers, Allen Iverson was the only person to beat that 2001 Lakers team in the finals. They went 4-4-4-4-1. So
4-1. Sorry. 4-1. So couldn't beat him twice, could they? So.
no, couldn't beat him twice. Dwayne Wade would have got a 0. I prefer Allen Iverson over Dwayne Wade, but that...
It's personal.
Allen Iverson's
Yeah.
more like highlight reel to me. All of his legacy is him doing something good, and then it's like that's all it is.
Yeah, but he's very similar to Kobe in the fact that like he would just take the game over and just like either shoot them in the game or shoot them out of the game sometimes. But I mean, Iverson, they say he's selfish. Iverson averaged more assists per game than MJ did, and MJ's supposed to be like...
MJ averaged 5 assists a game. That's pretty
Yeah.
good for a shooting guard.
Yeah, so did Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson averaged 5.8
And he
to
did play point
5.6.
guard as well. Like, you know.
Iverson didn't play much point guard. He was ball dominant, but so was Jordan.
No, Ron Harper. He was the leader of that Bulls team.
No doubt. Okay, so as far as legacy goes, we've said Kobe's in the top 10. There's been a bit of a discussion outside of the podcast about Kobe and how LeBron's going to be compared to him. We won't go into it too much. But
Quincy's not going.
how are their two careers going to compare, do you think?
They should be compared. Why are you comparing him to? A better comparison is Wade's and Kobe.
Well, they're
Iverson and Kobe.
They're both great players and they're team leaders, so...
I don't want to see LeBron as a team leader.
But he does the chalk toss, that means he's,
No,
apparently he's a team leader.
I think he's a great player. That's about it.
Who, LeBron?
Yeah.
LeBron's phantasmo.
He's great, but...
When it's all said and done, well, currently as it stands, we'll leave it at that LeBron is the better player than
We'll
Kobe.
have the discussion in 6
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Absolutely, okay. I mean...
I think LeBron is in a better play. He's a better player than Kobe. He's been a better player than Kobe for years and years. And when it's all said and done, he's probably going to be top 3 to top 5 to top 2 maybe. LeBron will be.
I think I like Kobe's killer instincts, but again, sometimes the killer instincts shot the team out of the game. I think LeBron, like he has had clutch moments, but he's had less clutch moments than he has more clutch moments. So, I mean, and I do judge great players at great moments, you know. So clutch, yeah, I do regard as quite high.
What's your?
I'm more inclined to go LeBron. I prefer more team-based players. He could defend a lot of different positions. Obviously, that's due to more physique, but as I say, Kobe. There's been a lot of negativity. Well, there's fours and against. It's very close. The first one that comes into my head, my natural going with my head, it would be LeBron.
Yeah.
But I have seen more LeBron than I have Kobe. So, like prime wise.
What would be, obviously now Kobe's mentioned his retirement, what is your thing that you're going to remember Kobe for? Is there a moment you're going to remember Kobe for?
I don't know, that Suns game where he gets like 2 buzzer beaters and he does this one. That's a great moment, that is. So.
I don't know, I mean, the 81-point game, them highlights, is pretty crazy. I think just before, I remember him actually, just before he'd done his Achilles. Because that Lakers team was pretty bad. And he was balling out at his age, trying to get that Lakers team to the playoffs, which he did. And he actually ended his career trying to get that team into the playoffs, and he did.
Yeah.
And that's an achievement that actually people don't mention when they mention Kobe, because obviously he's got the rings and stuff. But what he did then, he played freaking amazing. So, and that's kind of what I remember him for.
Well, the one thing I'll remember him for is the same season when Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. It was against Toronto. One of the last games, I think, Lakers were teetering between 8th and 9th. And I think he hit 3 clutch shots, shot after shot after shot, to keep him in that game. That's the one thing I remember him for.
Amazing. I love his dunk though as well. When we had that episode on the our favourite dunks, that his dunk was pretty tasty as well.
Definitely.
Well, we talked about past season and everything like that. Let's talk about tonight's games. We've got Miami versus Boston. Who you got?
Who I got? Boston. Sure.
No Marcus Smart, if that makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Because Marcus Smart and Avery Bradley are the best defensive guards in the league.
It's going to spur the rest of them on. Go, Smart's out, we've got to play our best. Celtics win. No, I'll go Heat.
Heat.
I'm a contrarian. I'll go Boston. Isaiah Thomas, 27 points. Kelly Olynyk, 9 points.
Accurate.
I don't know. It'll be close. Boston are so inconsistent. Miami's a half-decent team. I think, actually, Boston haven't got the bigs to handle the Mr. Whiteside. So I'm going to go Miami in a 7-point win. I've changed my mind. Miami, 7-point win.
I'm going to go with Boston. I'm going with Boston. Change my mind.
Basketball. That's the real
wins.
winner.
3 a.m. tip-off. Mavs Kings.
Obviously.
Getting Zeds, mate.
Getting Zeds. Who do you think will win when you're Zedding?
Basketball wins.
Basketball wins.
Mavs playing well. I'd go Mavs. Don't like them.
Mavs playing well, but depends if Boogie's back. If Boogie's back, I'd say it's a close game. It could go either way, but Mavs will probably... I'd say Mavs will win it, but if Boogie's back, it'll be tighter than what it should be.
I'll go Mavs win. Someone will get a tech, whether it's Boogie, Rondo, or Dirk. I think one of them will get a tech on each other. This Rondo situation, it's a shame it wasn't at Dallas, because I would have got a bit more excited for that, but it's going to be the Rondo return, which is going to be quite nice. Trailblazers, Clippers. Clippers have won a couple on the bounce now. Go for Clippers.
Yeah, I go Clippers.
I'll go Clippers.
That's fair enough. And Warriors, Utah.
Utah.
Gobert. Rudy Gobert.
Great for Paris. Did you see that donkey on DeRozan?
I did.
Tasty, but no, I'm going to say Warriors.
Do you see Rudy Gobert's ankle break early on in the season?
No.
When he got his ankle broken.
Oh, yeah.
What, Chris Paul's one?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And
He tripped him over.
And he got done by Dwayne Wade as well.
Not having the best he is, but
He
yeah.
needs to get them smooth criminal shoes where he can lean and all that. You ain't crossing me over.
That'd be great. Warriors win, Utah hasn't got the offense.
Nah, Utah win. Gordon Hayward goes for 100. Bang!
I'd say it'd be close if they had Dante Exum, but Warriors.
And this one is actually probably going to be the tightest or most interesting game. Detroit-Houston. Detroit overachieving, or surprising the league. Houston underachieving.
Going Detroit. Dwight's not been playing back-to-backs.
Detroit basketball.
Dwight Howard's not been playing back-to-backs. They ain't really got anyone that can handle
Dwight
Drummond.
Howard actually came out and said he's ready for back-to-backs now.
Really?
Yeah.
Expect what, folders?
Lethal weapon.
He's on the
No.
Matthew McConaughey lean. He's going.
No, I still think Detroit could take it. I'll put Detroit to win over Houston.
The free throws are going to be nasty that game. It's going to be horrific.
That's the thing. Drummond's not great at free throws, but he's not bad. It's mainly in a clutch situation that he sucks at free throws.
DeAndre got 2 air balls in a row.
Just 'cause he's fucking bare shit.
That's
You know,
not good.
if he played for the Mavs, he would have scored.
Well, we've got Holger. He would have taught him. Apparently, though,
Hogan.
Holger. We can't have Hulk Hogan after what he did. It's not good. We call him Wes Matthews.
What you gonna do, brother?
Oh, that'd be good.
I got Detroit, by the way. I don't know if I said
Detroit, that. I am going to go... I want Detroit to win so bad, but it's going to be Houston.
You call yourself a Mavs fan?
Harden's going to get 23 free throws out of 24 and shoot 0 for 9 from three-point range and win by 4 points. And it's going to make me rage. But as long as Mavs win, I don't care. Anything more we want to add before we finish up?
I don't know. We talk about D-poise and 6 poise and poise.
Poison?
Poise.
Poise?
C-poise. Defensive player of the year.
Oh, right. I was very confused. Oh, yeah, right. Well, let's just throw him out. MVP of the year.
At the moment, Steph Curry.
Who would you have said at the start of the year?
Andrew Wiggins.
Steph Curry.
Who would you say at the start of the year?
LeBron.
LeBron James. I'm going Steph Curry.
Who would you say at the start of the year?
I said at the start of the year, I was like thinking maybe Curry, but I didn't think he'd go back. I actually went for James Harden, just because I think people who didn't vote for Curry this year might have voted for Harden last year and this year. So I actually went for James Harden, which is hilarious looking at how he's playing now. So yeah, I'm going for Curry as well. Who do you think will come second in MVP voting?
Whoever doesn't come first will come second.
Alright, so genius.
You guys are winding me up.
Who comes second? Good question, Alan, and I'll tell you the answer. I'm not wearing a tie. No.
Durant. I'd probably say Durant. Depending how he plays. Depending how he's healthy.
I think there's 3 actually. LeBron's the obvious one, but I don't count that. I think he's either going to be out of Kawhi Leonard or the person who I'm going for, Paul George. Paul George is killing it this year. Career high in points, rebounds and assists. Pacers are second in the Eastern Conference as we speak. And he's coming back from a leg break, so he's going to get the sympathy votes. I think he'll come second.
Yeah, but he still knocked up a fucking stripper, didn't he? So he won't get sympathy votes from me.
He'll get the lad vote.
He'll get the lad vote.
The lad votes. The banter votes.
Andrew Wiggins, second place.
Most improved player of the year.
Andrew Wiggins. No, I don't know, to be honest, a bit early for that one.
Yeah, I think so. At the start of the year, I said CJ McCollum, and he had a few good games for the Blazers.
Never heard of him.
Well, he's got a bigger role than Blazers now.
How about Derek Williams?
Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout.
Alright, Derek Favors.
How about Derek Rose?
How about do me a favour?
Defensive player of the year?
Kawhi. Or Tim Duncan.
Nah, Tim Duncan won't get the minutes.
He's been playing really well. He's been playing fucking
but he's
grinding.
averaging Kawhi will get it out of the 2.
After getting snubbed for the All-Star game, Porzingis.
Just does blocking everyone. He's 7 for 3.
Man. I mean, he's big enough to get... Well, he does get blocks. Yeah,
He does.
There you go.
I'm going to go for Draymond Green.
Yeah, not a bad shout. Same old again with him.
Davis will miss games.
Yeah.
And all that jazz. 6th man, does anyone care?
No.
Yes, I do care. It's going to be Nick Young.
Nick Young?
No, I don't know.
Swaggy? Well, Iguodala might get it because they're winning.
I suppose so.
Depends if Isaiah Thomas goes back to his bench role.
No, he won't. He won't now, I think. I think he's locked in first. But it's too important to him.
Jamal Crawford.
Oh, anyone's out that case.
You know who's actually doing really, really well? Ray Felton. He's actually balling. He is. You know he is. He's actually really, really good. I'm liking him. I'm so happy we got him. We won.
You hated it when we got him.
Yeah, no, I thought, for God's sake, he's like, well, I thought he was a bad egg, because he was like gun control and all that kind of nonsense. But he sat on the bench when he was injured, and if he came on, he had a couple of minutes. He's a good player and he's explosive. And apparently everyone said how professional he is and everything. I want to keep him. He's a good trade asset now, unfortunately, but I want to keep him.
Actually, good shout, 6th man of the year, Mario Chalmers for Grizzlies.
That's actually pretty good. I'll hate it because in the annals of human history, there's going to be 4 things we're going to remember: the invention of fire, discovery of the submarine, Flint and Sugar Mega Ball, and Mario Chalmers as 6th man of the year. Shall I finish our Top Gear? And on that bombshell.
What about coach of the year?
Coach of the year.
Early, I know, but obviously there's teams that are doing well that should be doing well, so you could say that person.
Well, like everyone regards
Byron Scott.
everyone regards him as a good coach, but seeing as half of ESPN predicted us to come bottom, I think Rick Carlisle's got a good shout if we come in the top 6 or 7 of the playoffs.
Not bad. Not bad. I've actually got money on Stan Van Gundy. So
That's a good
actually,
shout.
yeah, they're doing really well in the East.
£10 down, £200 returns. Oh, thank you very much.
Maybe Frank Vogel, Steve Kerr again.
Well,
If Steve Kerr goes 72-10, this whole argument.
Yeah.
Well, he's not been coaching for 70% games yet.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I can't coach for a year.
The assistant coach of the year, yeah.
No, but a lot of people. I mean, I know our friend Charlie. I think he's put money on Scott Skiles. And at the beginning of the season, they lost like 3 games to buzzer beaters.
Oh, yeah.
So they could be
Their
12 and 6 or something like that.
Their
obviously
record could be a
9-8.
heck of a lot better because they've been in every single game. They've been in every single game. It's been so close. Okay, we'll finish up there. We'll continue the discussion next episode.
Brad Stevens.
Hopefully next week.
Didn't ask me my opinion, did you?
Sorry, that's what you said. Sorry.
I've got it. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
No, it's going to be, down to a typical, it could be Greg Popovich, Rick Carlisle, Brad Stevens, or Stan Van Gundy.
Sandman's a good shout. I like that one.
No, Greg Popovich has had that few years. He has like 4-year hiatus of not being coach of the year, and then everyone's like, "Oh, Spurs are still winning the playoffs."
Throw him in.
He'll have it.
Okay, so next episode probably next week. Fingers crossed. You can follow us on Twitter at inthepostpod. You can follow us Sam at Sam in the post.
Yep.
Joe at Joe in the post, and Alan at Alan in the post. ALLAN. That's how I spell my name.
I thought it was double
Because that's how you do it.
All this years I was spelling it PENIS.
You should go on my website, Alan Island. Okay, thanks guys. See you later.